hey you watching this video that just started, you're a Deltarune head, aren't you? Well, then it might please you to know that we've got some beautiful, yummy, silly rubber Deltarune keychains available for purchase on https://parks2.bandainnamco.am.co.jp/gashapon.html. Fork over your verdant American dollars for a chance to score one of 12 geek-tastic designs officially supervised by that thing, including one secret design that's yet to be revealed. The sale ended 26 days ago, so you'd better act fast. Have fun! So, how much of that did you actually care about? I mean, assuming you didn't already know about everything I just said, since it has been like a couple months. Do you care that there's more cute little Deltarune merch that you can spend on money on and staple to your brain, or do you just want to know about that little secret 12th rubber pal? Haha, we're not so different, you and I. The second I was made aware of this mystery, I knew with certainty that I cracked the code. I bellowed into the masses that if this was not a queen keychain, I would change my profile picture to an r/rate me selfie for the rest of time. Then I found out that queen was already one of the designs, so I deleted that tweet, and I vowed from that point forward that I would find the actual 100% correct answer, and I did. How can I be so sure? Well, after giving it closer inspection, I discovered the deck giveaway. After this little piece fell into place, the whole picture would follow suit. God, I am so fucking cool. This is a video about figuring out what the secret Deltarune keychain is. I feel like I talk really way too fucking fast when I'm trying to record a video. Here are all 9,000 trillion billion contenders for the secret keychain design. Thankfully, we have some deduction methods that we can use to whittle down this number a little bit. For starters, let's assume that nothing new to the lore is being presented. This means occurring in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 only, and no characters who have been hinted at but haven't visibly appeared yet, even ones who were in Undertale. Getting all new information about Deltarune with this secret keychain, while it would be fucking cool, is extremely unlikely to me. Not only is tertiary material a very weird instrument through which to alter the Deltarune canon, and probably not Toby's ideal scenario, but imagine you're the average Deltarune enjoyer, you finally get the package of Deltarune merch you've been waiting for the past 4 months, you open the package and it's Gundy. Who the fuck is Gundy? Terrible. There's also the logistic reason that Toby Fox only supervised these designs, which I take to mean that he sanctioned their use in merchandising and made sure that they were in accordance with the Deltarune merch axioms, i.e. he wasn't the one deciding what dozen characters were part of the rollout. And the team developing these products wouldn't even have access to the official designs of yet unseen characters. Secondly, it won't be a repeat of what we've already seen. This is not to say that the character in the confirmed 11 can't be a subject of another keychain. Spamtim's normal little funny man design or Giga Queen would make a decent amount of sense as an extra rare item. And if they were decided on as one of the 12 from the beginning, only one of those duplicate characters would really make sense to be left unmarketed. That being said, the same exact character design in another situation would be really weird, so let's just say any character from the original Hen Decad who doesn't have an alternate design, different form, special outfit, etc. is off the table. Number 3, similarly, I can't fucking say that word, why did I put it in the script? Similarly to akin to never before seen characters, I feel fairly confident that generic enemies and background characters with very few appearances would also be a very poor fit, because like who really gives a shit about Jigsaw or Pippins or Fompt? And last but definitely not least, it's not going to be a Lightner. Toby stated that he likes to keep the light world and its denizens out of official merchandising, and while that doesn't have to be the case here, every other design being of a Darkner makes that exceptionally unlikely in my eyes. This doesn't strictly forbid the vessel, since it's not necessarily confirmed to be a Lightner, but indirectly implying that the vessel is not a Lightner is something I seriously doubt Toby would let slide, so we'll rule them out along with every tentative non-Lightner. This ultimately leaves us with 18 prime suspects. This is far better than what we had in the start, but we're still quite a ways away from figuring this out. Let's meditate on this silhouette a little bit. Namely, this weird jagged frustum at the bottom. Like, what is it? My first instinct seeing this was that this shape was some kind of emblematic object that would rule out one specific character. And while I was right that this is the key, it isn't character specific. In fact, this is something that every character in Deltarune has, except for Noelle's mom. This is the character's fucking name. I may ignite some controversy by saying this, but the letters of the alphabet have various shapes. Some of them are skinny, some of them are wide, some of them are bumpy. This stupid little outline might not seem like a lot of information to go off of, but there is a finite amount of words that can fit this outline in the Undertale typeface. Even more finite if we restrict ourselves to our line of 18 suspects. What we want to do now is look at what letters cause what kinds of bumps on the edge of the design, and we have quite a lot of data to pour through. 7 of the revealed designs have some contours caused by the bottom part of the text. We can analyze and compare these contours like the design's fingerprints. Wow, so fucking cool! Wow, so cool! So the question is how different symbols affect this contour. Ultimately, there's 4 categories of symbols which I have arbitrarily named: narrow, medium, wide, and arched. The first 3 categories will produce at most 1 dent of varying sizes. Symbols with an arch will produce at most 2 dents that combine to the width of a wide symbol. Generally, at least one of the dents created by an arch symbol is narrower than even the narrow symbols, and the narrow symbols are only about half the width of the wide symbols. This should ultimately mean that if we can figure out what one dent is caused by, we can figure out what type of symbols make up the rest of the contour. Though there is the minor complication that some keychains, especially Jevels, don't have uniform font size. We could be dealing with a line of text that tapers out to the right or maybe to the left, so let's keep that in mind. We got very lucky with just how much information we were given, but there is one little uncertainty. We don't really know how large the dents on either side really are. A couple of the designs have weird margins on one side of the text or the other for a reason I can't really discern, which we may very well be dealing with here. So really our first symbol could be a lot of different sizes, even if we pin down what category it belongs to. Let's start by ruling out the possibility of the first letter being narrow. Looking at the names of our suspects and considering that a narrow symbol is either an I or a period, this is already impossible, but even so, any symbol following that I would result in the text either getting way too big or way too small, so this is not going to work. We can move on to medium width symbols and the same kind of issue crops up. If we want a second character that fits and doesn't affect the size beyond reason, it'll have to be another medium. That corners us into following with an arch, then 2 more mediums, a wide, and either a wide or a narrow. In this circumstance, the culprit's name would have to be exactly 7 symbols long. The only remaining character that fits that description is C round. And while an N could fraudulently stand in for the place of a wide symbol, there's no way for the D or the 2 vowels to fit alongside it. Top Chef does also have 7 letters in his name, but there's also a space in there, which isn't represented in the contour, so he's also off the table. I'm sorry. Starting off with a wide symbol is rough. Anything other than a medium or a wide symbol is ludicrous, and with a medium we end up with a space that only 2 consecutive narrows can occupy, which is unheard of. A second wide symbol is doable, but that necessitates at least 8 symbols in total, and if it is only 8, the second to last symbol is going to have to be weirdly huge, so now there's only 1 category left. Does an arch symbol fit here? It doesn't. This is the point where we have to start thinking about Cyrillic. No, it does. These next 2 bumps are so narrow that only a second arch would fit. Then we have a medium to narrow symbol, then a wider symbol, then an even wider symbol, then a narrower one. So if this conjecture holds, our culprit's name has to be 6 letters long, start with 2 arched letters, and have a decently narrow one at the end. There is one character whose name fits all of those conditions, and he is the only character that this keychain can depict. Haha, look at him! So this is my conclusion. If we believe that this silhouette is the true shape of the keychain, and nobody is pulling a fast one on us, the anatomy of this typeface eliminates every character except Ralsei to be the subject of the 12th keychain. So what now? Do we even trust this conclusion? How can there be 2 Ralseis? I'm 100% convinced my findings are true, and even I find them a little odd. So let me try to justify what I'm saying. As I said before, we can assume that the secret keychain isn't going to be the exact same design of the same character. Ralsei does have a very popular alternate design, possibly even more popular than the current standard. Let's say you're designing merch for a character with 2 very different appearances which are equally well liked. One of them is more iconic, and the other is far more congruent with the series as it presently exists. In this context, you have 2 options. The first is to go with one or the other and settle on that one's upsides and downsides. The second is to do both and cover all bases, but then you have the weird effect of 2 Rouseys being in the promotional material unless you leave one of the Rouseys out of the promotional material and tease it as a 12th mystery boy. And now not only is Rousey being cloned not weird, the 2 Rouseys will still be distinct after the reveal because one of them is special. Also, I wasn't going to mention this because I thought the video was going to go for longer, but also just the idea of giving you 2 options of hat or no hat is also kind of in line with Rousey's character. I mean, like, isn't he the one who's trying to make everything, all of your experiences in the dark world, like, as good as they can be? So doesn't it make sense? So, okay, the letters line up. The scenario lines up, but what about the boy? If the boy doesn't line up with the silhouette, then who gives a fuck? Well, these bumps in the top right are a really good match for Rousey's hat. Underneath that, there's something that's probably the outline of a scarf, and underneath that, I'm not so sure. Could be more of Rousey's body, but that feels kind of unlikely. There's this flat oval sticking out in the bottom left-hand corner that I'm pretty sure is a background element, and we do see a very ovoid patch of light in the center of, I don't know what we're calling this. Is this Rousey's front yard? So I think this is probably what's being depicted in the background. Then there's part of a big circle being outlined in the top left, which I'm pretty sure is just a black disc underneath everything else to make sure that the design has a consistent radius. Those little pointies sticking out of the circle have to be something tall and off in the distance, I think. Rousey's castle doesn't seem like it would fit, so I'm gonna say that these are just empty houses. Taking all of that into consideration, this is what I think the 12th keychain is gonna turn out to look like. So, why the fuck do you care? Well, when I started working on this video, the aim was to inform potential buyers what secret goodie they had a 1 in 12 chance of acquiring, but now that's not really a viable goal. I guess the only real message is, although this particular mystery seemed impossible to solve unless you simply knew what it was, a weird esoteric deduction method was really all it took to unravel that mystery altogether. So, no question is impossible to answer as long as you look at it from the right angle, but that's not true, is it? Like, if that text had been a little less snug with the outline, I don't think it would have been at all possible to do what I just did. In fact, I find it odd just how detailed that contour was compared to the rest. Surely that wasn't done on purpose, but then why is it that the more I look at this graphic, the more I feel like everything is pointing towards this conclusion? The background being dotted with cyan stars, exactly like Rousey's front yard or whatever the fuck. Rousey's keychain being like ever so slightly brighter than all the rest. The words line up in the center of the image and a separate typeface from the rest of the poster, describing not just what is obviously right underneath it, but also exactly what must be done to uncover the solution. And if all of this was intentional, if we were meant to be let down this path, doesn't that drastically increase the likelihood that this is a trap? A punishment for our hubris? That we should dare to simply pick open an impenetrable lock? Everyone knows Deltarune is founded on misdirections and deceit, and everything that it says is gonna happen is actually the opposite of what actually happened. What if all the assumptions I made were exactly what Toby Fox wanted me to believe? What if everything I've said in this video was wrong? Conclusion. The character on the 12th keychain is Fompt. That is my final answer. Thank you for watching my video and enjoy getting a Fompt in the mail. Hey, it's me, Luna. Thanks for watching my video. This is kind of the first scripted video I've ever done. I really underestimated how fucking long it was gonna take, but I think I got it out before anyone actually found out what the keychain is. So I did it. I have other videos like this that I want to make soon. Like a lot of them are Deltarune related. I have a lot of like Deltarune analysis videos and theory shit I want to get into. The next thing I work on might not be that, it might be something else. And I'm gonna try to not rush myself with these videos in the future, but you know, like, subscribe, maybe I'll come out with a video that you might like in the future. Okay, bye.